Welcome back. I'm Tyler, and this is my partner, Gardner. Today we are going to be talking about something that is coming up in the game a lot more frequently than it has in the past, and that is how to effectively drive a third ball or any ball at the back. So when you're driving and putting a lot of pace versus just dropping the ball over the net. So today's video, we're going to talk about how to effectively do this and how to make it so that it's going to be a successful shot rather than a bad shot. Okay. So to begin with, I'm going to ask Gardner a question. Gardner, how high over the net or how low over the net do you think you should be aiming when you're driving a ball for it to be successful at the top level?
It'd be great if you could get down to the inches, but probably 6 to a foot.
Okay, that is a good answer, but I would say that is the incorrect answer for the top pros. For most pros at the highest level, they are aiming 0 inches to about 5 to 6 inches at the highest point over the net for a drive to be successful. The reason being is if you hit that ball higher than 6 inches or 8 inches, then the other team is already at the net and they're just going to put that ball away, or that ball is going to go out. So I actually have here a tape measure, and just for demonstration purposes, we're going to show how high over the net is acceptable. So, as we said, at the highest level, you want to be aiming right here to about right up here for a successful drive, okay? Anything up here and higher, the other team is either going to put it away or the ball's going to go out. Because you're driving these, they have a lot of pace and the ball's going to go out. So once again, 6 inches is about right here. So the highest level, the pros are aiming for right here to about right here, which doesn't seem like a lot of margin of error. That's why this shot is so risky, is if you can't hit that ball, if you can't drive that ball from here to up here, then you basically lose the point. And so that's why it's been such a risky shot in the past, but people are realizing now that, hey, if I get out there and practice this shot, I can be successful with it. And so right now we're going to go over a few things that will help you be more successful with driving this ball. Before we get going, what do you like to think about or look for when you're driving your thirds?
I'd love for it to dip a little bit.
Okay.
I'd love for it to be fast.
All right, what about your body positioning or when you're actually striking the ball?
I like to strike it flatter, but still coming up a little bit.
Okay, that's a great point. Those are all good things. The thing that I tell all my students and the thing that I really look for is spacing, is court positioning. You have got to make sure that you have adequate spacing between yourself and the ball. Where a lot of people run into issues is where they get set and then the ball jumps into them or it jumps away from them, and then they are in trouble because they are not in good position. If you have good footwork and you can put yourself in good position where you're striking that ball out here in front, that's going to eliminate many of the problems that a lot of people run into. After that, you really want to focus on your legs and your rotation and your hips. You really want to bend your legs and then throw your weight and your body into that ball, and that's going to generate a lot of the power. And then in terms of the height, a lot of it comes to practice. You really want to make sure your paddle face is out here facing out in front. It's not too much up. If it's up like this, the ball is going to go sky high. If it's facing downward like this, it's going to go in the ground. So you've got to feel and figure out what feels comfortable to you. But the number one thing I tell everybody is to strike the ball out in front, right there every single time. Now we're just going to demonstrate. I'm going to feed Gardner a couple balls and see how he does, and then he's going to feed me a few balls and see how I do. All right, so here we have Gardner, and he's just going to demonstrate how he normally hits a drive, and then we're going to critique it and then see if there's anything we can change to make him be a little bit more successful and get that ball to be a little bit harder and a little bit lower over the net. All right, once again, the key to hitting a successful drive is the height over the net. You really want to keep it low. All right, so he's going to start off with forehands. You can let these bounce. He forgot to let these bounce. Nice. Nice. Okay, to be honest, these look pretty good. The only thing that I would maybe change, what do you think, Gardner?
More hips.
Exactly, more legs, more hips and more legs, a little bit more rotation. His height over the net was fairly good. I would say it's about the 6 to 8 inches, maybe 9 inches over the net, so he could maybe work on that a little bit more. The other thing I'd be curious to see is his consistency. Right now, in practice, he did great, but does that translate over into matches? Does it?
No.
No? Okay, there we have the answer. So obviously practice helps a lot, but I want to see him be a little bit more explosive, because at the top level, you are making them low over the net, but you also have to add a lot more power with that. So instead of just going like this, I want to see you going like this and really exploding into the ball. Now for these first few, he might miss because he hasn't been doing this, but it will come with time and practice. Nice. Awesome. Okay. So obviously he missed a lot more, but that's because he changed something. So he's going to need to practice that, but the power and speed that he was getting with using those legs more was night and day difference than before. How did those last few feel for you?
The last one felt great. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, so like I said, it's going to take a lot more practice, and now he's going to feed a few balls to me, and then we're going to see how I do. All right, those felt good, and I want to end on a good note. So how did those look, Gardner?
I was just focusing on the balls, but they sounded good.
Okay, they sounded good. To me, they looked good. They were mostly pretty low over the net. Maybe I could work on a little bit more power, being a little bit more explosive, but for the most part, I felt good about them. And so at my level, I really focus on more consistency, being able to make every single one of those. And I didn't miss any of those into the net, and I think I made every single one of those. So that was maybe 5 to 7 balls that I hit in a row, just barely. And so for this drill, what we're focusing on is, what I'm focusing on is just drilling, driving every single ball. It forces me to learn how to adapt and move my feet to get to every single ball in order for me to drive it successfully. Once again, I'm focusing on the height over the net and then also the power and pace behind the ball. Awesome. Okay, and that is that. I really like that drill because it forces you to learn how to drive the balls, and it focuses on a lot of consistency. If you don't hit it down low, the net person is just going to attack it. Also, if you have any ideas or topics that you want me to cover, make sure to put that in a comment below, and I will definitely get to that and try to make a video on it. I appreciate your support. Thank you for following along. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos.